Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence, here on KCAA Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, where we cover over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles. And we are also affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. You can listen to us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time on any of your favorite podcasts and streaming channels. We are also in Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android app. Just subscribe to Building Solid Foundations channel. I am an author, an international speaker, and a philanthropist. My nonprofit, the Trueness Project, is on a mission to have people live in integrity and authenticity and to discover who they truly are. It has been my experience that we're all living somebody else's life, that we are not in authenticity, and imagine a world where you actually enjoyed working, where you were living your purpose, not your parents' purpose, not your uncle's purpose, not society's purpose, but your personal, true path. That is what the Trueness Project is all about. And as part of my mission, I have several books that we are giving out all over the world. The first is my children's book, Gloriousness, which teaches children how to deal with their emotions and learn the power of story, because it's your story. Whatever you think your story is, that's going to be the story of your life. So that's Gloriousness. And then, of course, we teach leadership all over the world. And the second book I give out is The Power of Leadership with M. Teresa Lawrence. And this book has transformational, powerful stories of leadership and struggles that people go through, because struggling is part of life. That's how we learn. And when something goes wrong, you don't just stop. You simply reflect back and learn from it. And this book helps people learn about that process. And the last book I want to share with you is The Grand Butterfly Gathering: Wings of Change of a Transformed World. And each year, the last weekend in June, the Trueness Project hosts the largest gathering of people dressed as butterflies, because the butterfly is the symbol of transformation and is the symbol of our nonprofit. And so I invite you all to join us and to pick up this book, because it has wonderful transformational stories of the VIP guests that attended the first Trueness butterfly event. It is a beautiful book. It talks about transformation and about living life authentically, which is a perfect transition to our guest, Carol Dysart, who is an expert in the DISC profile. I'm going to read you her bio, but if ever you wanted to live an authentic life and have a tool that can get you there, Carol is your person. I'm going to read her bio now. Carol Dysart, Master of Science in Counseling and resident of San Diego, California, is known by her clients and students as the DISC Master. How cool is that? She's a DISC Master. She has gained mastery in the art and science of understanding people, from working with many clients throughout her 40 years that have received the gift of their DISC personal style and her coaching, and from her clients and coaching companies around the world. Carol brings over 3 decades of experience using the DISC profiles to her CEO coaching, training them in how to get the most understanding out of their profile interpretation. She describes it as an art because there is a need for human interpretation of the information shown in the profile, and a science because the model has been statistically analyzed as both accurate and predictive of the subject's primary behaviors and style. And with that, welcome, Carol, to the program.
Wow. Thank you so much, Teresa. It's wonderful to be here, and everything you just shared about in your introduction, I went, no wonder she loves what I'm doing, because I love what you're doing. We line up.
No, it's
right down the road.
It's a perfect alignment.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the DISC, which is amazing, because really, when you take the DISC, you're like, wow, that's me. How did it do that? Yeah. But before we do that, I want to talk about Carol.
Oh,
how did you become a DISC master? What's the story here?
The story. I've always loved people, And I knew I was a people person when they said, "Are you a people person?" I went, "Yeah, that's me." I will talk to anybody. Everyone's my friend until they prove they don't deserve that because I don't understand them or something. But it's, I was a high school teacher. I knew I had to go into teaching. So I taught high school right out of UCLA college, graduated with 5 years of college with secondary education as a goal, and I majored in music and history and English and reading, and I taught a whole bunch of subjects. So I was hired as a high school teacher, and I did that for about 10 years. And I loved my students, and I had the choir room in the high school, and I had a big glass office room around, a glass wall around the office so the kids could come and talk privately with me and still see, and I could still see what's going on in the classroom. So I loved the kids, but I kept thinking, why is Sam so different than Sally? What is it that Susie has that, makes her popular and the others that, what is it about people? I need to find out. There's got to be a formula to people. Mm-hmm. People reading is what I was actually looking for, and that's what I found. But I went to get a master's degree in counseling. I thought, that's where I'll learn the fount of all knowledge, is at the university, right? Not quite. The university taught me all about counseling and technology, but it wasn't until a girlfriend said, Carol, you would love this DISC stuff. And I said, DIS stuff, what? And so she said, come to this class I'm teaching. It's kind of brand new. I went to the class. They were talking everything I wanted to hear. I went, I'm in. I got certified that weekend. I just stayed for the certification. And so that was way back in 1979. I hate to admit it. I mean, I love admitting it because I was just a child then, So then I realized who I wanted to train were parents first. I wanted parents. The system, the DISC system, just to bottom line it, is a 4-quadrant model that says, are you fast-paced or slow-paced? Are you task-oriented or people-oriented? That's all there is to be, fast or slow or somewhere in between. And task-oriented, like you want bottom-line results, or you're people-oriented and have a lot of flexibility. Another word is open. And I thought if a parent couple knew themselves well enough that they didn't fight all the time, the kids could grow up in an environment that was filled with love, filled with honoring them. The parents would know how to honor the differences.
Oh, so you were going after the parents first, not the child.
That's what I thought. Well, I knew they needed me before anything else. Mm-hmm. The trouble is I couldn't make a career financially on that because back in the 80s, 90s, that was not something parents were doing. There weren't classes. I didn't know how to market. We didn't have cell phones, internet. Nothing was here, realize. Okay. So I shifted from parent education into corporate training and business training. And I went to a class called Money and You. And I was given a flyer to come. I went, money and you. I don't know a lot about money. I didn't take accounting and all that technology. I just want to know about people. She says, well, that's the you part. It's all about you. I went, okay, I'm in. So I go to this class, and in it they show and they use as one of the tools the DISC profile. I said, I'm home. I now found a place that understands my language.
Isn't it amazing how you were brought to the right place?
And they said, you are now going to be our supplier. She asked, can you supply us with profiles at a wholesale cost? I went, I sure can now. So I became their supplier. They took the profile in their programs, grew all over the world, especially in Asia. So 200,000 people now know their DISC profile. They don't all know how to use it properly necessarily because Money and You is not about DISC. It's only using DISC as a tool, and that's important to know. So you can have a business, you can have a training, you can put this into your own work without becoming a DISC master, as they like to call me there. But that's what I do, and that's how it's grown way from there.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I imagine I have taken the DISC profile, and it was spot on.
Yeah, the tool is phenomenal.
It is a phenomenal tool. And so from the Money and You beginnings, I know that you work with corporations. I know that people seek this information out because I've applied for jobs and they've made me take, personality assessments and this assessments and what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And I imagine that so let me go back. Money in You is an incredible program. I have taken it and it is off the charts amazing. And it deals with what my nonprofit deals with. It's being authentic with yourself and knowing yourself. That's why the DIS profile is a part of it. And when you apply for a job and you are working with people, you may have personality, you may wonder exactly what Carol was wondering about the children. Why is this person this way? Why is that person that way? And the DIS profile is phenomenal at telling you why. And it's just eye-opening. Once you take it, you're like, okay, this is the way I deal with this person. And in our next segment, we're going to start talking about the DIS profile and how it could be applied to different situations and different personality styles. And we're going to take a break now, and we will be right back.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.